Round two of the 2022 NBA playoffs is now in the books. And here on the Mail Show, we're here to recap that round and give our playoff predictions for the conference finals that are coming up tomorrow, actually. We got Shane and Alex back on the pod. What were you guys' thoughts on that last series? I mean, I know Shane, you had your team, the Warriors. They advanced to the next round. Celtics advanced to the next round. Alex, so you guys are probably happy. I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on your team's performances?
Um, I'm not really satisfied with my team's performance because we obviously didn't have to go up against John Morant, and we still kind of gave.
You injured him.
So
you injured him.
No. Can we talk about though? Ja tried to frame Jordan Poole when he did not even get injured on that play.
Wait, did he not? I can't lie.
He doubted him up after the series too. Did you guys see that?
No, he deleted his tweet too. I'm pretty sure it was like he tweeted like broke the code, and then he deleted that tweet like an hour later because he realized it just wasn't true.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys were bad. You guys didn't show up to play in some games. I can't lie.
Yeah, that was a pretty embarrassing loss. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, losing by that much
game 5
in a playoff game, it doesn't matter if you win the series. That's still embarrassing.
Thoughts on Clay sucking some games and being amazing other games?
He's so hit or miss, but like
yeah, honestly, like my thoughts, Clay that whole series, it didn't really change. I mean, honestly, like if he's not playing great defense, in my opinion, I saw him as like a liability sometimes on the court. To be totally honest,
on defense.
What? No, like if he's not playing great defense, like an elite defensively and locking up their best player.
I think after he
missed those free throws.
Yeah, after game 2, exactly. Wait, no, that was game 1.
That was game 1. You're right. Yeah.
After game 2, he had pretty bad shooting nights in game 1 and 2. It looked like he was forcing shots, but then game 3, he took a lot less shots, hit it on a lot higher of a percentage of those, and then from there on out, he was looking more comfortable out there. But his shot selection was definitely pretty off.
So
I think he just needs to let the shots come to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
he needs to stop looking to create so much.
Would you consider Clay your third best scorer, or is that Wiggins?
I think
it's debatable.
On a good night,
definitely in that game 6, he was.
Oh yeah, obviously. When Clay scores 30, he's got to be like he's the guy. But he's still hit or miss.
In a perfect world, Clay is our number 2 guy, but sometimes it's just falling and Jordan Poole takes over.
Yeah, going forward, I see him as the third scorer for the Warriors for sure.
I still view him as the second option in that offense, though.
Yeah, I see that.
He's forcing it too much. I don't know. That's what I'm seeing on the court at least. There's a couple bad shot selections where I'm just feel like Joey said, he should let the offense come to him more than like just go attack all the time.
Bro, Looney played really good in that series, especially in that last game to close it out. I mean, they needed him, and he stepped up in that role. And they need him to win the championship this year for sure.
It's funny too because like I thought it was a good move to start him when I saw he was in the starting lineup because we got out rebounded in game 5 by a landslide. And then the first play of game 6 was a Grizzlies shot. And then Steven Adams gets the offensive rebound over Looney. And I was expecting another long night, but then second half, he just went off. He had so many clutch offensive rebounds.
What do you have in the last game? 22? 22 rebounds?
22 rebounds, and 11 of them were offensive.
Jesus Christ. I mean, if we want to look at the Grizzlies side real quick, there's still a lot of positives to go off it. You're a young team. You knew that most likely you wouldn't go that far. Or at least, I mean, you know what? Maybe they had to believe with Ja, but I think once Ja got out, I think they believed a bit they were done. But positives like Desmond Bane's a beast. Ja Morant's obviously a monster. And you got a really nice structured team already. So,
they definitely have a good young core going forward.
They do, but you got to think in a couple of years, how are they going to pay all those guys?
They're not. Man, Dylan Brooks is quite the character. I don't know if I hate him. No, I hate Dylan Brooks. That Gary Payton play.
I hate him so much.
After the series too, where he was like, like he was calling him like old or something, and then bro, I can't deal with him.
He thinks the Warriors are really worried about the Grizzlies in years going forward.
He sucked, by the way. He was awful in some of the
Except-
games. Like he could not shoot the ball.
Game 6, he shot like 30 shots and put up 30.
Well, yeah, you guys were getting blown out in that game. Oh no, you won that
No,
game.
no, game 6, game 6.
You won the game six, yeah. But he was bad, basically, is what I'm saying. And I don't
Yeah.
like him.
Overall, he was pretty good in the playoffs, I'd say, though.
No, yeah, he was. I mean, he still plays great defense. The shots just weren't going in for him.
Oh, that last shot was terrible in that
Oh my god.
in that game 6. The one he almost airballed at the end.
Yeah, not good.
Well, out of the gate, we saw some game 7s finally. We didn't see a single game 7 in that first round. But what do you guys think? I saw this debate on Twitter a little bit, but do you guys think NBA game 7s are the best game 7s in sports?
No.
Yes.
Interesting.
Shane, what do you
don't
think is the
they
best?
are either.
What do you guys think is the best? Don't say NHL.
Well,
I think it honestly, after watching those games, I think it has to be NHL. I mean,
Oh
especially
my
seeing them
God.
going to OT and stuff like that. I mean, it's just a crazy like atmosphere, and like the fact that like it's decided by whoever scores the next goal. Like that's unreal. It's like sudden death.
The game 7s are insane.
Okay, but here's the thing.
This year's examples were bad examples of game
Yeah,
7s.
no.
'cause they were blowouts.
I have NBA like when there's a good game 7 in the NBA, it's crazy. I mean that Warriors Cavs game 7 was unforgettable.
I
that
think
was
of
one
like
the best games.
I
of
think
all
of
time.
that and the Kawhi game. I think of the Kawhi game. That Kawhi game was nuts.
Yeah, that was nuts. But I feel like it's so much more common in the NHL for it to be like a crazy like barn burner like ending than in the NBA.
I'm changing my answer. I think it is the best game 7, but
Thank you.
I mean, it's because I don't watch enough NHL.
I think
So
it
wait.
goes NHL, NBA, and then MLB.
Yeah, MLB.
MLB can be such a good game 7. Like,
Facts.
I feel like it's just because less people like watching baseball, but like if you have a sport where one play changes the game so drastically, like I feel like that's kind of like the most hype
yeah,
moments out of all the game 7s. Like
yeah.
like a clutch homer late in the game is tops.
Yeah, those give you the chills right there. Like a
Wait.
home run in late innings, especially as a Giants fan. I mean, one that just sticks out to me, in one of their runs to the World Series game, or it was to win the pennant. Travis Ishikawa. I know that wasn't a game 7, but that was unreal against the Cardinals when he hit over Levi's Landing, and then
Yeah.
they almost didn't let him touch home plate because they were mobbing him after third base, but.
Wait,
Yeah,
so-
I mean, just game 7s in general are just unreal. They can be.
Would you take so that's just theoretically, you're saying an average game 7 in hockey is better than a 7 in NBA, but peak NBA game 7s are better than peak NHL, or is it just NHL is better?
Yeah, that's what I would say that. I would say peak NBA, but we don't see peak NBA game 7s that often.
I can't lie. I feel like we see them a lot.
No, we don't. There's
What's the last
peak
one?
there's peak
I'm trying to
NBA game
think.
7. No, listen. There's peak NBA game 7s and there's NBA game 7s where it's close and it ends with free throws. And I'm going NHL over those games that end with making free throws, Like that game with Kyrie making that shot over Curry, LeBron with the block, Kawhi with the game winner. I mean, you can't beat that.
I mean, no, hold up. Last year, guys, right? Nets Milwaukee, insane series. The game ended game 7, 115, 111 in overtime. Like that was an insane game 7.
That was
that was a crazy game 7.
If I go through like just year after year, every single year there's an insane game 7 in the playoffs, which is like makes you love basketball. Like I feel like it's not that close to me,
I think
but
it also
who knows?
has to do with like where because like I've not like always been a hockey fan or whatever. I just like watch hockey occasionally in the playoffs. But like I play basketball and stuff like that, so like I can resonate with the players and like like understand the moment and like I can think like, oh, what would I do here, and it just makes it like that much better when you're watching an NBA game 7, when you're like
Yeah.
you can connect to it as a like a player also.
Yeah. I just think that it's not that uncommon to see a nutty game 7, and I think most of the time when there's a game 7 in the playoffs, it's pretty great. So
Yeah, yeah, for sure. All right, I think that's enough of that talk. Let's get into the recap of that round two. We'll start off with the one of the series that ended last night, Suns and Mavs. The Mavs actually came up on top.
Called
Alex
it.
is still undefeated with his picks so far this playoffs. I am not. Shane got every pick right, I believe, in that last round, right, Shane?
Did you
In
pick the
the
Mavs?
No, I did not pick the Mavs.
Oh wait, no, not the Mavs. Never mind. So me and Shane didn't. I picked the Sixers, so I
Oh,
I got two wrong.
that's brutal.
Rough.
But
Do you pick?
yeah, what were you guys?
You pick the
What?
Bucks?
Oh, I did pick the Bucks too. I picked. Yeah.
Joey, 1 for 3.
I'm 1 for 3.
One for four.
Nice.
NBA's.
Nice. 1 for 4.
I've not been so great in picking these NBA playoffs so far, so I would fade me. But what were your guys' initial thoughts on what happened in that Suns Mavs series?
Choke P3, 0 rings P3, CP 0 rings. Chris Paul sucks by basically. He's really bad.
We were gonna get to that at some point. I mean,
Well, no, I think we need to talk about it right now. After being up, hold up, I'm pulling up his numbers. After being up 2-0 in this series, just in this one, the last 5 games, these are his Chris Paul's number. Game 3, 12 points, 7 turnovers. Game 4, 5 points, 1 turnover. Game 5, 7 points, 4 turnovers. Game 6, 13 points, 5 turnovers. Game 7, 10 points, 0 turnovers. Are you kidding me?
it's just
That's
so disappointing. Because like every year, I think he can finally get it done. Like he can get to the finals and actually do it like last year. I mean, last year gave me like so much hope for him getting a championship because like they were dominant in going into the finals, and then it took Giannis playing at an unbelievable level to beat them, and the Suns looked really good, and so I thought they could for sure get to the Western Conference Finals again this year. But that's crazy to think that the Mavs. I mean, I had them winning the first round, but I didn't think for a second that them with those guys around Luca would be getting past the Suns and their depth. I mean, that's just crazy.
But
I mean,
depth
and the
means
Suns
nothing.
scored 27 points in that first half. That's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
no. Depth means nothing if your 2 stars cannot provide whatsoever. Like literally, and it's surprising to me too because Chris Paul. What was the closeout game against the Pelicans? 34 points, 14 for 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was good game 1 and game 2. And then what happened? Like he just fell off the planet Earth and couldn't produce at all.
Mm-hmm.
He sucks.
Yeah, and another thing from that game 7, it just like Luca, especially. I mean, the whole Mavs team really, but Luca especially just looked so comfortable. Like it did not feel like game 7 defense from the Suns. Like Luca was getting his matchups. They were switching everything. Luca was getting bigs on him, just going to his signature step back, his signature moves on Ayton. Like right out the gate, you could just see that. And I mean, the fact that you don't have 2 guys on Luca, like if Spencer Dinwiddie's going to beat you, that's something you can live with, which Spencer Dinwiddie did have an amazing game. But the fact that Luca was also
Torching you.
able to get his looks so easily, like obviously Luca's going to have his points. Obviously he's going to get his buckets, but like the Suns weren't even making him earn it really. Like he was just getting exactly what he wanted. And the Suns just could not do anything on offense really. So
Yeah.
I mean, is this? Here's a question: is this it for Chris Paul? Is he done?
I wrote that exact question.
I don't know. I mean, like you would think after seeing this, but like if he stays with the Suns, I think if he stays with the Suns and this roster and this team, I think they will for sure have a chance going forward in future seasons.
I don't
Think it's
see
over.
the Suns
Because
being
Devin Booker, he's gonna be playing at an elite level again. I mean, that was an unlike him performance.
I think the Suns are below a 2 seed next year though. I think they're
Me
not.
too.
I see some regression.
How the thing is, how are they progressing after this? And then how are other teams in the league progressing? I don't think they're progressing at all. I think the Warriors are going to keep getting better. I think the
Well, I
Grizzlies
think
are going to
their
keep
young
getting better.
guys are obviously going to progress, but that's
Chris Paul is a big part of this team still somehow, and he's not going to. I don't think he's going to be putting up same kind of performances he did this year.
yeah. No,
Now it's
Chris
a
Paul-
mental thing now too. Like he just can't perform.
I think. I mean, obviously the Suns will have.
he can though. That's the thing.
No,
Like
he can't.
he has
did.
been clutch.
Yeah.
He
No,
has
I
been
he
agree with
can't.
clutch.
Against the
He can't.
Pelicans in that one game, he was 14.
I don't
to-
care. I don't care.
That's
He can't
incredible.
perform.
That's
Yeah. It's also incredible. He averaged like 6 points a game
He's
after
still
game 2.
one of the clutchest
awful.
players in the league, in my opinion.
He's not clutch. He's not clutch anymore. He's not clutch. He's not that guy. He's not going to
Yo,
produce
he's
his own
one of
offense.
the clutchest.
That's ridiculous.
What?
I can name a lot of people left in the playoffs.
I'm putting Devin Booker. I'm putting the ball in Devin Booker's hands 10 out of 10 times. I'm never giving Chris Paul the ball at the end of the game.
Yeah, at this
Well,
point,
they
Joey,
do.
Joey, prime
Yeah,
Chris
that's
Paul.
why they're losing.
What do you? No, I'm saying at the end of the game it was close. It wasn't close in a single game.
Well, I'm just saying. If at the end of the game, I'm still giving it to Booker now.
Are you seriously saying you'd have Chris Paul take the last shot?
I'm not saying I would, but they do, and it works out.
Well, you're saying Chris Paul is one of the most clutch players in the league.
He is. He is.
He's not. He's not.
He used to be.
He used to be. He's not anymore. You can't call yourself clutch if you score
But he's
6
still
points a game.
proven that he can be.
No, I don't think he has. Proving it against that Pelicans team means nothing to me. If you lose the second round and average 8 points a game, it means nothing. I don't care. Well done. You got past the first round as the 1 seed. Nice job. Give yourself a pat on the back, Chris Paul, you fraud. You're never
But
gonna win in your career.
going back to is it for Chris Paul? I think the Suns will obviously have like a couple more playoff runs or a couple more playoff appearances in them, but I don't see them getting back to the finals where they were last year. I think obviously they could, but I don't know. Chris Paul might have to hop on a great team when he's done in Phoenix if he wants to get a ring.
The thing is, though, Chris Paul can ring chase though. That's good though for him because
Yeah.
he can adapt. Like he can change his play style. That's what he did this year. Like he's
Yeah, he
completely
could actually be valuable on while
Exactly.
like he could actually be
like that's the problem. That's my biggest problem with Russell Westbrook is that he's too egotistical to change the way he plays. But Chris Paul can do that.
Mhm.
He can definitely ring chase. But credit to Luka, he balled out, and
Yeah,
he
for real.
finally
he
got to
showed
the
up.
second round. So
Do you guys think Luka is the best remaining player in the playoffs?
yes,
For his team, yeah.
Well,
Like, because
I think he's the best. He's the best player
gonna
left
put
in
up
the league.
numbers on that Mavs team if they're gonna win games. So
obviously for his team is the most valuable, but I'm saying the best player.
Yeah, I think he is. Shane, would you put Curry over him? Is that what your argument is?
I was gonna say you can make an argument for Luka, Curry, and Tatum.
yeah, I was gonna say
those three
I
are
was
interchangeable.
I was gonna say Curry or Tatum. I think you could put Tatum. I'm surprised you're not putting Tatum.
I mean,
Alex.
to be honest, I would put Tatum, but he's too inconsistent for me to not put Luka at 1 right now.
Yeah,
I don't want to rank those guys, but because I want to say Steph 1, but I know that
No waste. I'm putting Tatum over Steph right now. I can't lie.
I just mean I don't know, man, like-
Two-way guy.
Steph's
Tatum's
been
elite
playing
defensively.
crazy, man. I mean, in that closeout game, he was going crazy
True.
at the end.
It's close. It's actually close.
This Warriors team looks good right now. I'm not gonna lie. They look
Well,
really good.
when they're not throwing the ball out of bounds every
Yeah.
other play,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. They lost in game 5. I want to pull up in game 5 against the Grizzlies when they lost by like 50 or whatever. They lost the possession battle. The Grizzlies took 99 total shots in that game. The Warriors took 80. That's literally a difference of 19 shots.
Yeah,
They're
that is
missing.
wild.
And the Grizzlies out free throw the Warriors. They took 30 free throws to the Warriors 13. So it's actually way more than just the 19 shots. Because of the offensive rebound margin. And yeah, the Grizzlies had 18 offensive rebounds compared to the Warriors 4. And the Warriors had 22 turnovers compared to the Grizzlies 10. So
Yeah, that is
22
wild.
turnovers in a game is like awful. And they didn't even clean it up that much in Game 6. They kind of got away with sloppiness.
Was Steve Kerr not coaching in Game 5?
No.
What do you think? It's like obviously you can't blame like Steve Kerr not being there because that's on the players. But you think it's some of that too, or do you think it's just mental lapse?
Maybe part of it. I think Mike Brown should have definitely called some timeouts in places that he didn't. But
yeah,
when things were getting out of hand, but
can't blame him fully.
I think you don't know if it's that big of a factor unless you're one of the players that really feels that.
All right. Well, we already talked about Warriors, Grizzlies, talked about Suns, Mavs. So let's get into Heat, Sixers. One of the two Eastern Conference series. Probably the worst series out of the 4 series.
It sucked.
But I thought it could become interesting. I thought the Sixers could steal that Game 5 and make it interesting, but they just didn't really show up, and they lost both those last 2 games. Lost Game 5 by a really significant margin. And then they lost Game 6 at home to put them away. The Heat, credit to them, did look pretty good in those Game 5 and 6, but the Sixers really just let it up. I mean, I thought they had what they had with the guys that they had back, and they had everyone pretty much healthy. I thought they easily could have put up a fight with the Heat, but I was really disappointed to see how much the Heat blew them out by. So what are you guys' thoughts on this series?
I think the Sixers need to clear house.
Yeah, I agree. I was literally going to say the same thing. I was going to ask, actually, is this when, obviously, James Harden's going to be the main one in free agency, or just in general? You think James Harden needs to go?
Is James Harden a max contract player?
Hell no, he's not a max contract. He's not top 15 right now.
He might get paid that. I think he might get paid a max.
That's ridiculous. He's 30 pounds overweight. He's
fact
fat
that
he
was very inconsistent in those playoffs.
He's been very inconsistent the last 4 or 3 years or 2 years, however long.
He lost a step. He's overweight. I don't think he cares about basketball that much anymore, if I'm being honest. I see him play. Like, do you really want to pay him if you're the Sixers? Like, do you want to pay him around Joel Embiid? I don't think so. Like, I would clear house.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because obviously Joel Embiid's one of the best players in the world, right? But you're going to waste his prime if you don't keep a guy like James Harden, even though, he might have his problems. You need a guy around him, and it's not easy to get people.
Do you bet that Tyrese Maxey, like, this is a stretch, but maybe Tyrese Maxey becomes that guy and you build around those two? But, like, I just don't see that happening.
Bro, Maxey was balling.
Maxey is,
but he's not James Harden, though.
Yeah, true. I mean,
dude, that Ben Simmons trade really, really was
them.
not it for the Sixers. If you look at it in the long run, they gave up 2 firsts, Seth Curry, Ben Simmons.
Yeah, not good.
Those are big assets, and now you might not even bring back James Harden.
But they got their guy in quotations. Like, this is who they wanted.
I think it wasn't like the bad move at first.
Yeah,
if you look at it in hindsight,
James Harden.
Yeah. Because when you get the potential of that Rockets James Harden, who was playing at an MVP level and was like an unstoppable scorer, then you take that 9 times out of 10 for that price.
I think they knew they were not going to get Rockets James Harden. They thought they were getting Nets James Harden, which was still one of the best playmakers in the league. And when he came to Philly, he was
insane. He was nuts the first 3 games. He had like 28-point triple-double like 3 games in a row.
Exactly, but then in the postseason, he just crumbled and he was like a shell of his.
I think it's just
I
think he just doesn't care. I look at him play basketball and I'm like, if I'm being serious, this guy does this a lot. He's overweight right now. as a basketball player, as a point guard. He can't get to the rim anymore. He can't finish at the rim anymore because he's too big to get down there. Like, is he really that guy you want to keep with Joel right now? I don't know. I don't think so.
He
It
seems
just
like the
depends on what
perfect-
Joel wants, honestly. Like if Joel likes
Facts.
playing with Harden, then they're gonna keep Harden. If he doesn't like Harden, they're gonna get rid of Harden because Embiid's their god right now. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
He's their whole team.
It's kind of crazy that you look at like Nikola Jokic and you look at Joel Embiid, and they had similar outcomes this season. Although one of them had a James Harden on their team.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That's nothing. That's not a knock on Embiid. It's just it's not working out. Like on paper it looks amazing, but it just I don't think it's gonna get you a ring based off what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
No. It's that team is definitely not winning a ring. Especially, by the way, we need to talk about this. Are you guys okay with Doc staying another year? Like, is that the right decision for the Sixers to keep Doc?
I don't even know anymore, man. I mean, Doc is just like he can't do it, bro. Like he just can't get it done anymore with whatever team he's coaching. I mean, these teams keep putting their faith in him, and when you have a guy like Embiid and a guy like Harden on your team, you're expected to have success. And for him to lose like that, about losing by 30 and then losing that game 6 at home convincingly, I mean that at some point it's just not good coaching. I don't really care. So they might have to get rid of him, honestly.
It's hard to tell in certain situations like what's on the coach and what's not, because like that's just hard to see as a fan.
That's true.
But like in
Sometimes you can see it. I'm gonna be honest.
like
Sometimes
for Frank Vogel, you could tell like he just wasn't a great offensive minded coach. Like even when
Yeah.
the Lakers were winning their ring, their offense
Yeah.
was so stagnant. It was hard to
It
watch.
was just LeBron and AD really on
Yeah.
that team.
also the Jazz coach in that first round, I would say.
Oh, they were. I can't lie. I don't even want to talk about the Jazz. The Jazz suck. But going back to this real quick, like they extended him. I'm pretty sure. Is Doc not known to be a choker by now and not a winner? Like at this point in his career, why would you extend the guy who clearly has not gotten it done in the last like 10 years since winning a ring?
That's what I'm saying, dude. Clear house, get rid of Doc, get rid of Harden. You don't have to get rid of the GM, but that's
You should.
and then but
Clear
then
house for what?
Who knows?
for the Sixers.
But like what? Try to get picks?
I don't know, try to change up what because you can't just keep running it back.
I think you could with Harden.
You can't.
I don't
You
know. I don't know
can't.
money. I don't know money wise, but I think you could.
Are
No,
they really
playing wise?
beating
Look-
a Bucks
Look at
team,
the East
Celtics team?
and the Nets. Those three running it back compared to the Sixers running it back. Hell no, they're not winning.
Is tough.
Those three teams are not. Those three teams will not lose to washed Harden and Joel Embiid. I'm sorry. Like even if you bring guys around that are half decent, it's not going to happen. You need 2 stars in this league.
Yeah.
But credit to Miami, we haven't really talked about them at all. Jimmy Butler balled out. I'm an avid Jimmy Butler hater. I hate the guy, but he was good.
He
did
was
really
good. He
good.
was good for sure. I'm not a big fan of him either. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big like this Heat team fan. You know.
That Heat team, I've been saying it. That Heat team is scary though.
Low key.
They have
Very
so
low.
many guys that could just step up and go off in any given game.
I feel like Oladipo is a really nice piece.
I
to
mean,
that
I
team,
guess,
actually.
but like
He was big in that shit.
Jimmy was going off every game, so like
Not every game.
Yeah, he was.
In-
No, not every
Yeah, he
game.
was. I mean, in this playoff so far, he's had 2 40-point games, and almost every game has been over 25 in this series at
Yeah.
least. But that being said, he did get help from Strauss in the last 2 games. Bam was very good. Tucker was surprisingly decent scoring, and obviously Tyler Hero coming off the bench. But like Oladipo scored 19 in one of
Yeah,
these games.
Oladipo looked good.
Surprising, right?
Yeah, that was surprising.
Because I thought he was done too. Can't lie. Because he had that horrific injury and he was just falling off.
Bro, the
It's
Heat.
about-
Tell me they aren't like a weird team. Like I don't
They
know
are
why.
weird. They are really. What is? By the way, they shot. Let's not neglect it. They shot like 20% from 3 through like almost all the series. Duncan
is like-
Robinson didn't touch the floor.
I swear
what's
this.
scary.
Tell me this isn't like an old heads like dream team, like sort of.
Loki is.
Like
No,
sort
it is. It is. No, it is. I feel like it is. But that, like Shane, why do you think they didn't play Duncan Robinson? Like why? Like why?
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
actually
he didn't get
good. That's a
minutes.
great point. He's worth $90 million and he didn't play.
And they lacked shooting threes,
Hey,
and the
hey.
one thing he's good at is shooting threes. Like, why not bring him in?
I just want to point out, you guys were saying Jimmy was the guy every game. Games 1 and 2, he didn't even lead the team in scoring. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo in game 1, both outscored him by 9 points at least.
Okay.
He
And
only
what
had
did he do
15 in game 1,
did
5
he
of
do game-
16 shooting.
What did you do? Game 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Like, yeah, game 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. They
What did he do
lost.
in the last series?
They
What did-
lost.
what did-
Yeah,
what
but
did- what did he
those
do
are
in
the
the
ones
last
that they
They
series?
lost 2 of those games. I'm not talking about against
The Hawks.
the Hawks. I'm not talking about that, bro.
I'm just saying. Jimmy Butler's been the guy in the playoffs. Surprisingly, I didn't think he had it, but
I mean,
I just don't know
actually,
why-
they did
We've
ask.
seen him, I don't know how you're saying that. We've seen him do it in the.
I hate him. I hate the way he plays basketball, and he shot 20% from 3 this year in regular season. I didn't think he was gonna be good. Okay.
Yeah, his play style is definitely not appealing. But they asked Spoelstra about Duncan Robinson in an interview, and I'm pretty sure he said he plays guys like Strauss, I think,
He
and
got
those
4 minutes.
and those type of guys because like he wants defense and
Yeah.
they can make a couple shots a game, which is all he thinks he needs, which is an interesting approach. But that just shows you how much they value defense on the Heat.
I mean, that's why Gabe Vincent was playing, right? Like Gabe Vincent played a lot of minutes this series because he's a good perimeter defender.
Yeah,
But if I'm a coach and I see we're shooting very badly from 3, why not just give him like 15 minutes and just let him shoot the ball? Like I don't see what the negative side of that it really is. Like he can't be that
Yeah.
much of a liability.
He got
Mhm.
19 total minutes in the series.
That's crazy.
That's like 3
really-
minutes a game.
You're paying him 90 mil for that? That's wild. That's wild to me.
yeah.
So I think he'll probably come up big one of these East Conference Finals games. I mean, he has that capability. I think if he gets minutes,
I don't think he'll get minutes. I think he'll get less minutes in this series, actually, which is funny. Because who do you put him on? Like, if we're saying that Spoelstra's game plan is like defense first, like who would he guard in this series against the Celtics?
Grant Williams.
Grant Williams is a beast, bro. No way Duncan Robinson can guard him.
All right. Well, that's a good way to segment into Bucks Celtics. Game 7, Grant Williams, 27
Can we
points.
talk about this? Is going to be the most overrated performance.
Hey, shut
know.
up, buddy. Like,
That's facts.
okay,
That's
you
kind
know
of
what?
facts. but-
You're gonna bring up that he didn't shoot 40%. Like, okay, we were blowing them out. Last 6 minutes, he shot like 4 threes in a row and bricked them. That's fine. Grant Williams. I don't care if it was shooting practice. Grant Williams,
That
of all
was the
people,
whole game
pulled
plan.
up
Let Grant
and shot
Williams
28. He made 20. He had 28 points.
27.
27 points. It's Grant Williams, Shane. I don't
he
care
set
if
the,
they
he
get-
set the game
It's an
7 3-point
NBA
Yeah,
record.
he said the game.
Exactly. That's
No,
what I mean.
I don't care if he's an NBA player. It's great, bro. He missed his first 25 threes coming into the league. If you're gonna let him shoot, then
I
you better.
get
It
on a
better not
cold-
be overrated. He made threes.
He was on
He
a
made
cold streak.
shots.
No, you're right. It is clutch that he snapped out of that streak and actually started hitting shots. But he is an NBA player that in prior years, in the regular season, didn't he shoot 40%?
Yeah, he shot like 42%. He was the best shooter.
He's a 42% regular season NBA, even NBA player, and you're giving him 5 seconds. It's literally shooting practice out there. Like, it was just give him 10 feet of space, give him all the time he wants to prepare for the shot. We'll let him shoot
Hey, he
it.
hit the shots though.
He didn't. He shot 7 of 18.
Nah, but he was like 7 of 14 with like 6 minutes to go, and then he break the ton.
Name like any non-big on the Celtics that can't do exactly what he did.
I know. I'm just saying. And when it happened,
Richard
the
did
Bucks
it.
decided they were gassed. The Bucks were they were
bro.
tired out, and Grant was shooting open threes. He was making them though.
I get Grant was on the floor for probably defense purposes as well, but like, yeah, offensively, if you put like Pritchard out there and gave him the
Oh, Pritchard does the exact same thing. Pritchard
Bro,
actually makes
Richard
way
was
more.
going crazy.
Pritchard's
Pritchard makes
shooting like
way more.
60% from 3 with those looks. Those looks
Yeah,
were the
100%.
cleanest threes you could get off.
Very true. Very true. But
Honestly,
As-
Game 5 Tatum or whatever is probably bricking those.
All right, that's not even funny, bro. Like it was game 4 Tatum, by the
Or
way.
Game 4, wherever he scored 10 points.
Yeah, and then he scored
Steph Curry.
46. Okay,
Steph Curry's probably missing those. He never hits open threes.
Steph can only hit contested threes for some reason. He pisses me off when I see him pull up for wide open. But anyways, as a Celtics fan, it was nice to see that they blew them out. I think they were like, to be honest, the series should have been over earlier. We really sold on a couple of games. But that being said, Giannis is nuts. Giannis has got to be the best player in the league.
I wanted to see him go for 40 in that Game 7, bro.
He got outplayed by, I'm not even outplayed. Like, him and Tatum played really good Game 6. But the whole series, Giannis outplayed Tatum. And he was just destroying us.
He just
He-
missed.
he was-
He missed open looks. He got.
Yeah,
his,
he was missing layups. He was missing layups Game 7.
and
He still had like 20. He did more than 20 rebounds in Game 7.
It was fatigue. It had to be fatigue. He had to be too tired from carrying the team. He looked tired going around the
Yeah.
court. Because I never see Giannis tired. He runs the whole game.
it didn't really matter if he would have made those couple layups. His stat line would have looked prettier, but I think the Celtics obviously still win this game. But I think a lot of people are going to get caught up in the fact that the Celtics look like the best team in the East, and they're just going to say that they're going to roll by this Heat team. I don't think the Celtics played well in this game, especially, and in the series, really. They relied on the 3-ball, especially in games 1 and game 7, way too much.
I agree.
Games 1, it cost them. Game 7, it obviously didn't. They hit 22 threes, but they shot 55.
Yeah, true. On the flip side, though, in this series in particular, the Bucks were giving them those looks majority of the game. So it's
Yeah.
like more like the game plan probably for Miami will be different. Like it'll be more attacking one.
I think the Celtics are still going to be. You got Bam Adebayo in the paint, man. I think the Celtics.
Bam Adebayo. We had Brook Lopez in the paint, bro. Like I don't care who's in the paint now. I put. I've never. I've never had
Brook
more
Lopez
faith.
and Giannis.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, though.
Brook Lopez is a great interior defender.
If they're gonna give us the same shots, our defense is good enough to win us a game. Our defense is good enough to win us a game by itself. If we hit shots in games like any one of the games, right? We start hitting shots, we win at least 2 games from there. They're gonna have to start watching the shots if we start making them.
No, this series is going to be such a dogfight every game.
Oh, every game's gonna be like this series, like the Bucks series just was. It's gonna be close every game.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think the Celtics will pull off the series, but I'm not as confident, I think, as the average.
So why is that though? I just don't like our defense held
I
up.
don't-
So the
I don't
Celtics looked
execute
once again
well.
like a championship team to me.
Yeah,
I
I
don't-
thought so too.
I don't think so.
Because of the
Well-
fact that those role players can step up in any given game. I mean, that's what makes a championship team. I mean, depth
Okay.
and guys stepping up that you don't expect, even when the stars aren't having the type of games that they usually have. And defense, they still have the best
Depth
defense
and defense.
team
It's
in the
definitely
league.
defense.
So I
defensively,
still have a lot of confidence in this.
Like Shane,
I'm
on
not
defensive
making an
side, like
argument defensively.
we're the best defensive team in the league. That's good enough to win you a game. I honestly think it is.
True.
And
I don't think-
Tatum's going to be
I don't
going
think
for
they
like
win.
30. I don't really care.
Yeah,
I don't think they win this series unless their stars consistently can play well, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum,
Yeah.
or if they
that's
can
fair.
shoot the lights out like they did in some of these games. Because I just
On the flip side, though, isn't that every team? Like, isn't that Miami? If Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero don't play well, don't they also lose? Like, I was
Yeah,
just
if Jimmy
saying,
doesn't score, they don't score.
It's like every team. If your
That's-
two guys
that's
don't
not
show up,
true.
you lose.
that's
It
not.
is.
I showed you an example. Game 1, Jimmy only had 15. The Heat won
yeah.
by
And
double.
then who scored for them? Tyler Hero.
And
And
Bam
also,
Adebayo.
don't show me the Sixers without
Sixers
Embiid.
played sorry that
The Sixers
game.
without Embiid in game 1. Like, I don't care. You're playing James Harden and Tyrese Maxey by
Okay,
himself.
my point is they're not going to win this series if they keep relying on the 3 and they don't that's a good chance that these threes just don't
I don't
fall.
know. I still think they could. I think. All right, let's just go by one matchups.
These
right,
teams
in
are
this series.
similar. So like
Yeah, I was gonna say these teams are very similar. They both can have the same struggles. I feel like at the end of the day, though, are we the better defensive team? Yes. Are we the better offensive team? Yes.
Is Kyle Lowry still out for this series?
I think I think he's meant to
Oh,
play
he's back. He's back.
Tuesday. I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
meant to play
back.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
So if we go through matchups though, they're pretty even, I would say. Like Marcus Smart and Kyle Lowry,
Mm-hmm.
right? Jimmy
Marcus
Butler
Smart
and
solos.
JB.
Mm-hmm.
Then Tatum, I guess it would be because this is saying Rob is back, which he's supposed to be.
Robert Williams.
Tatum, yeah, he's supposed to be back.
That's a huge
Who?
addition.
Robert Williams.
Robert Williams.
Tatum and I guess would PJ Tucker be the one guarding Tatum, or would Bam do that? Like, how does that work? How does
Probably
this Heat team line up?
I don't know.
Now that I think about it, I mean, like it's kind of crazy to think about. In what, like 3 of those 4 Celtics wins, some dude like Al Horford
Yeah.
dropped 30, or Grant Williams dropped 27, which is crazy to think about. But like, I don't know if those guys are going to be able to do it again. I mean, if they can, I think they can win those games, and that's going back to what I was saying about the role players stepping up. But
Yeah.
the Celtics might not have that again. So I don't know.
But if that's the case, I think Game 6 of the Bucks series is the best example of like if the Celtics role players don't score, they're still very capable of beating a good team with Tatum and Brown alone and that
Yeah.
defense. Like they
Yeah.
won by 13 and Giannis scored 44.
But I think like a lot of these games was literally just the Celtics. I mean, obviously, like Joey said, role player stepping up was big.
Yeah.
But like even in Game 7, I think through 3 quarters. I mean, the fourth quarter was kind of
The
not
fourth quarter was not even a game. They were
not-
just shooting around.
through the first 3 quarters. The Bucks played just as well, in my opinion, if not better. Not played better. They obviously they weren't hitting their shots, but
You mean they
got
looked better they looked better on like the basketball court, but they didn't play better. I know what you mean.
Grayson Allen 0 for 4 from 3.
Yeah, but that's but here's my point though.
Pat Connaughton 0 for 5.
If you're a Bucks fan, even though Pat Connaughton and Grayson Allen have been hitting shots all series, if you're a Celtics fan, are you not happy with those 2 guys shooting 9 threes in the game if they're not making them? Like even if
No.
they make them, I'm
Those
saying,
are amazing shooters.
but they didn't shoot well.
Yeah, Connaughton had been really consistent.
If we
Wesley
were up
Matthews 0 for 3.
in the third quarter, we were up by like 20 points at the start of the third quarter. Like even if we're making shots at that point, obviously they're gonna like lay off on the shooters. Like I just don't see how the defense alone, even if the Bucks were missing shots, when we played good defensively and the Bucks were hitting shots, like when Giannis scored 44, they still only had 98 points. They didn't score 100.
But my point is there was a number of missed layups,
But that's every NBA game though. Not everyone makes every shot.
No, Alex, 4 for 33 from 3 is not every NBA game. Especially and you know that those looks like
I'm gonna say it's not every NBA game.
Looks.
But on the flip side, let's just real quickly look at the Heat shooting like before the
Game 7 was game 1, but the Celtics hit shots and the Bucks didn't. That's
okay. So wait, what they shot 12% from 3 the other day, right? The Bucks. So the Heat shot 25%, and then they shot 28%, and then they shot 20%.
and you don't think these numbers will go up?
And then they shot, no, I don't know why they would. And then they shot 20% again.
You don't know why they would because the Sixers or the Heat have good shooters and shooters will end up hitting
24%. That's 5 straight games of
That's
under
a lot.
24%.
That's
not
pretty
a
consistent.
coincidence.
I don't
So
know.
Especially when
you guys think that the Sixers
16%.
You guys think
Well,
the Heat will be 25% from 3 in this series?
No, they'll obviously have a game over, but it's not like they're going to go all of a sudden from 25 each game
Yeah,
against the worst defensive team
they're not
and then
gonna
go to
stay-
40% each
You're gonna
game.
have a 20% game, I guarantee you.
Yeah, they're going to have more than one, I think, with
Yeah.
our defense too, which is significantly better than the Sixers D. Like,
All right, well,
if you're
okay. So let's say the Bucks just went 10 for 33, which is 30% in this game. It would have been within single digits.
we pulled starters, like what?
You pulled starters and you actually gained a lead.
Now we actually
You
did gain like
added.
3 points
Yeah.
in the game. That's true. It's facts. You can't say stuff like that though. That just doesn't
Yes,
make sense.
you can.
You can't because NBA
When
games
Pat
miss.
Connaughton- when Pat
NBA
Connaughton
players miss
owned five-
shots.
Yeah, they do. I'm not taking that away from. I'm just saying, moving on.
Pat Connaughton scored 15 points. We still won.
Pat Connaughton was over.
Pat Connaughton in game 6, Pat Connaughton scored 15 points and Giannis scored 50.
Tatum scored 46. We don't
But
even
that's my
talk
point.
about that.
That's my point. That's my point. If the Celtics defense shows up whatsoever like they've been playing all season,
Game 6,
even-
the Bucks hit 7 threes. That's
nice.
not a good example.
Why is Miami not going to shoot the same percentage that they're doing in the last series against a worse defensive team? Why
I
would
don't think they
randomly-
are. I don't think they
Why?
are. Because
Why?
they have shooters. I think.
Yes, so did Milwaukee.
Yeah. Bro, watching that series, it's not like the Celtics were contesting these threes.
But
Like,
they weren't making the shots. It's not a pattern if 7 games straight the Bucks don't make threes.
they wasn't all 7.
Well, then it was the
Game
2 games they
one.
won. Yeah, okay, nice. So you named one of the wins out of the 7 wins. The 3 wins they had, one of them was a freak game by Giannis, and the other 2 were what?
Game 1, game 5, they shot 45% from 3.
Yeah, and what they win by? They won by they won by a putback on a free throw and then a missed opportunity by Marcus Smart.
Okay.
What's the point here?
They lost.
Yeah, they lost by 1. That's my point. That's the best Bucks game shooting wise, and they still only won by 1 point after Giannis still had a monster game as well. What's
Dude,
the how?
Celtics
No
shot-
way.
The
No one in the
Celtics
Heat
shot-
is scoring 40 against us, and no one is shooting over 30. They're not shooting 30% from 3. Why would they shoot? Why would they shoot better from 3 against last series in 6 games when they shot 20% and under basically every single game? Why would they shoot better?
They're gonna pick up those numbers,
Why do you say that?
especially if the Celtics kind of play that series. Dude, the
No,
Celtics.
they don't have to play the series the same way though, because they don't have to double team Giannis the whole game.
My initial point wasn't even about defense. It was about how the Celtics were living and dying by the 3 because they shot like 30 to 50 threes in all of these. They're like 37, 35 to 50 threes.
My point is, it doesn't matter though. I think that we could do that and get away with it. We can make 15 of those.
I don't
we
think
can
you can do that.
make 13 of those threes. Why not though? Because now we're looking at a new series. Jimmy Butler is not Giannis. We don't have to guard Jimmy Butler like he's Giannis. He can score 30 against us. That's fine. Tyler Hero is going to get his booty cheeks eaten by Marcus Smart. And there's no way that all of a sudden Miami Heat go from shooting 23% basically average in the last series against the worst Sixers team to 30%. We don't have to guard Jimmy Butler the same.
There is no way. Did you just say there's no way the Heat?
There's no way.
30%?
There's no way they start averaging 30% from 3, Shan. There's no way.
30%. You realize
There's no way they start averaging.
I don't know.
There's no way they do.
I think they could.
They can have a couple. I think they'll have one game over 30% from 3 in this series.
That's
There's no way they
crazy.
drastically improve their shooting.
Okay, so let me get this straight. For the Celtics to win, you're relying on the Heat shooting under 30% from 3 and the Celtics hitting on 53s a game.
Yeah. It's not that crazy. It's really not. If it's happened 2 straight rounds, it's not that crazy. And the first 2 rounds, we had to guard superstars, freaks, KD and Giannis. We don't have to do that in this round. Jimmy Butler's good. Jimmy Butler's no KD. Jimmy Butler's no Giannis. There's no double teams. They will have less open looks.
All right, so who you guys got in this series?
He has the Celtics too.
I do have the Celtics.
Well, what's
What do you
our
have the
game
Celtics?
picks? I got
Celtics in 7?
Celtics too. I got
Celtics in
Celtics in
I got Celtics
6 games.
Yeah, I got Celtics in 6.
I got Celtics in 7.
Celtics in 7. Okay. At Heat.
Okay.
At 8. This was an Eastern Conference Finals in the bubble too. What was the outcome? Heat in 6 or
games Heat. Heat
Okay.
in 6, and they had that one game where they lost in overtime, right?
that was a great game.
That was an insane game. That Bam block is
That
still
block,
nuts.
yeah.
That block is nuts.
I don't
But yeah,
remember that game, to be totally honest.
What, Joey? That game was crazy.
Dude, I literally don't remember anything about the bubble playoffs except for the finals. Except for, actually, I do remember. Actually, I just remember the Lakers series, to be totally honest.
This is just ridiculous. That game was nuts.
I remember the Nuggets, the one game, Jamal Murray went off. Or maybe that was every game. But like anyway, he was going off. But the Heat
yeah.
were playing in that final series. Anyway, so I got Celtics in 6. Jeez, I'm tired. I got Celtics in 6. Alex got Celtics in 6. Shane's got Celtics in 7. So we're all in agreement. I think we'll all probably be in agreement for the winner of the other series too. Oh
I'm
wait,
so tempted to
Wait.
say Heat in 7 right now.
No, what are you? I hate this kid, man. I hate him. I hate him so much. What
I
is?
swear you were
what
talking
is-
like earlier that just about the Celtics.
What, like I don't understand what is not appealing about this Celtics team. Like what they have a championship built team. What are they lacking?
I think so do the Heat, but okay.
Yeah, so what are the Celtics missing? What do the Heat do better than the Celtics?
Game plan.
What does that mean?
I think the Celtics, if they
Spoelstra.
continue to rely on threes, they're not going to
Oh
win the
my.
series.
This is ridiculous. I don't even want to talk to you anymore. You're pissing me off.
Celtics aren't even a team that's like, oh yeah, they're filled with shooters. They're really not. They have shooters, but they're not.
We don't have shooters, bro. I don't know where you got these shooters from. Our best shooter is Grant Williams. We have no shooters off the bench. We don't. Derek White and Daniel Tice come off the bench in our rotation. Derek White shoots like 30% from
And
three.
yet you just shot 55 threes and won a game by 20.
Yeah, but this is a complete outlier game. That game means nothing to me.
Okay, so what about
terms of
game
game plan.
1 where you lost? It was the opposite. It was the same type of thing. Game 1 right here. Game 1 you shot. You shot.
we didn't know how to guard
53. You shot 53s.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
The
Can't
fact
lie.
that you had 2 games where you shot 50 or more.
I mean, we just didn't. Two guys didn't show up. I don't think
Who?
that crazy.
Jaylen Brown.
JT and JB.
J-
I mean, I think.
If you look at game 7 and game 1, they both had similar stat lines to what they did.
No, but I'm saying game 7 means nothing though. That's my point. Because like JT barely played the game. He sat out for 9 minutes because he had 4 fouls.
Barely. Okay. He also
But that's my point.
in game 1 or game 7.
No, game 7.
And game 1 he had 4 fouls.
Yeah, but that's my point is that if JT, obviously that's for any team though. If JT and JB don't score their 50 points together, then they're not going to win.
That's not my point. I'm saying if the Celtics rely on threes.
No, the point.
Tatum-
No,
Tatum could have.
Why would you bring up
30.
game 1, the game where were both the 2 stars didn't do anything?
Oh, they did not. They did something.
No, they didn't. They scored 35 points.
Yeah, and
They
what
scored
they do in
35
game
points.
7? What they do in game 7?
Bro, game 7 means nothing to me. Grant Williams scored
You can't
28.
just say that. You can't just say
No,
game.
because JB and JT shot like 10. Let's look at shots. Look at how many shots JT took in that game real quick. If you want to bring up why he had less points. JT had, let's see. JT took 14 shots. Obviously, he's going to have less than 30 points.
That's.
He shot 50% of the floor.
I'm saying his production.
His production is good. Other
JT
than
is
the one game-
gonna have his games
And
for sure.
he's who is he being guarded by? PJ Tucker?
No.
There's no.
I don't know. I don't know who's going to guard him, but someone's going
I
to
think
guard him. I think
That's a
it
good
might be.
point, Shane.
It might be
Jimmy might
Jimmy.
guard him.
Yeah, it
That's
might
No
be
what-
way
Jimmy.
it's Jimmy. No way. It's
Why?
Jimmy. No way you put,
Why?
So you would put Jimmy on Tatum and then PJ Tucker on JB, I guess?
No, you put. You would not put PJ Tucker on Jaylen
That's
Brown.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, you put
Spoelstra will figure it out.
guard.
Vincent,
I will
Gabe
say.
Vincent? You like a little Gabe Vincent action?
You need a guard on JB. You put PJ Tucker on Grant Williams.
Oh yeah, that's if Grant Williams starts. Yeah, that's fair.
All right.
And then
Bam on Al.
Anyway, let's talk about this Warriors Mavs series. I mean, Alex, you picked the Mavs to beat the Suns. Are you rolling with the Mavs again?
No. I had them done in this round. The Warriors are too good, man.
Yeah. I really like the Warriors. I mean, I think they have a really good shot to win the chip this year. I mean, obviously they're the favorites as of right now. I don't know what the exact odds are, but
plus one.
I really like their chances with how they're playing and people stepping up. Draymond's playing good. Steph's playing really good, which is what you like to see in the playoffs at this time. Um, and they have other guys like Clay played good in that game 6.
Steph's not playing that good. He did not have that great of a series.
Frauds. They're frauds.
Who?
Luka and 7.
What?
Serious?
No, I'm not serious. Warriors in 7.
In 7.
7.
Yeah. Is this Shane? Honestly, when you look back at this team, like, were their wins that convincing? Like, obviously, I know they won games
No,
big, against
okay,
Grizzlies,
yeah.
but like,
If
They
they
weren't that
played
great.
like they did in the Grizzlies series, I could see it going 7.
yeah, I still think they're a better team.
In
I
my
think-
opinion,
I think-
the Warriors are
They're
like
back to play. They'll clean things up though.
Fair.
Mhm. I mean, like even in that game where they came back against the Grizzlies, I don't know why. I could just sense that they were gonna win. Like at the end, the Warriors just turn it up a notch and they start draining shots, and the crowd gets fired up. I mean,
Mhm.
in that game that I was just talking about, that they came back from like 15 down, came back and won it. I mean, right after the first shot they made, when it was like 91 to 82, I knew they were coming back. I knew they were gonna win the game. You could just kind of tell how everything shifted after that shot. The crowd started getting into it, and the Warriors really they have a home court advantage, and they have experience, and I really like them going into this series, and just in the playoffs in general because they have the most experience.
I think they're just a better team in general. I don't think Luka can just. I know it's not Luka. I think Luka can keep doing it. I don't know if Jalen Brunson, Spencer Dinwiddie can keep doing it. That's the thing. But that Mavs team was very good, so I wouldn't rule them out.
Yeah, they're really unpredictable. I don't know what to say about them. I mean, we could see them somehow pull out this series, honestly, because they match up decently well, I'd say, with the Warriors.
Well,
I don't know.
I think it's not like they match up.
They don't match up bad, but they don't match up
But
good.
I don't think they match up any better than
Yeah,
like any
that's
other
true.
team in the league.
Yeah, I agree. But
Um,
they did play elite defense, so maybe that comes into factor. Who knows?
I
Yeah.
think that Gary Payton Jr. loss will be big. in this
Huge.
series.
I think it will. Yeah,
It'll be tough.
I think it will.
He could be back.
mean,
towards the
Sticking
end
him
of
on Luca would be huge, honestly.
the- yeah, exactly that. I think Wiggins is going to be guarding Luca. That's my
Wait, so who would
initial thoughts.
Steph on Brunson
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
and then Clay? Is Clay starting for you guys?
Yes.
Clay on Dorian Finney-Smith? I don't know.
Oh, actually, I do
Reggie
think
Bullock?
that we might go back to Clay, Steph, and Poole in the lineup.
I was gonna
because
say you guys might play 3-guard, right?
do we really need Looney? They don't have a big that's gonna.
The White
'cause-
Towel is not it. I don't
Nah,
care.
yeah, because they play a 3-guard too. Like I thought you guys would play 3-guard
Yeah,
as well.
I think we'll run the 3-guard. I think Brunson. Help me out. Who's in the?
So it's Brunson,
Brunson,
Luka,
Dinwiddie.
Reggie Bullock.
Dinwiddie was off the bench, is he not?
No, he's
Oh,
off the bench.
Bullock, Bullock, yeah.
It's Bullock and Dorian Finney-Smith, and then Dwight Powell at the 5.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so Steph and Poole on Bullock and Brunson. Finney Smith. Finney Smith might be guarded by
Clay, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd
Has
say.
to be.
Draymond on Powell, Wiggins on Luca.
Man, what a strange series. That's just the smallest series ever. These guys are both.
I
tiny
wanted to
teams.
see Suns Warriors, honestly.
That would have been a great series.
Yeah.
Nah, Warriors in 5.
I got Warriors in 6.
Alex, you say Warriors in 5?
No, I was saying if it was Suns, Warriors in 5.
Oh, what do you? So you have Warriors in 7, right?
No, Warriors in 6. I don't think Luka
I
takes
think-
them
I
7
think-
games.
I think the Warriors will win the series on the road.
Me too.
The Warriors are like the most. I feel like they're the most sure team like in these playoffs so far that can actually get a win on the road. You know, I mean, I'm not saying they did get blown out by 50 points on the road, but if there's any team that I'm counting on to win a series on the road, it's the Warriors, in my opinion.
I think we're winning in 5 or 6. I'm gonna go 5.
Wow.
Five.
But I think we're winning at home.
I just can't
Wow.
underestimate the Mavs.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't know if Luka lets you beat them in 5. I can't lie.
The Mavs
Let's
were
have-
like
No. Okay,
really
I don't
lethal
know
at
if we're in
home.
5, but we're not losing this series. There's no question about it. If we lose this series, you can pull up this clip, but there's no way.
Wow. I'm pulling up this clip where Luka drops 50 in Game 7.
Oh, Luka's gonna have his games, bro.
Well,
There's no
Luka
way
has
you can't.
combined for like 74 points, I think, in his
Maybe.
2 Game 7s in his career.
More than that.
Yeah, you can't restrict Luka. You literally can't restrict him. You can't. There's nothing you do about it. I can't lie. He's the best player in the league right now, other than Giannis, and
Yeah.
obviously
The thing
KD.
In that Sun series, except for Game 7, it didn't. The Mavericks winning and Luka going off did not correlate. Like in Games 3 and 4, Luka didn't even play. Statistically, he didn't play that well, and the Mavericks won the games because
They moved the ball.
Their other guys were hitting shots and getting good looks.
That's the thing, though. That it's not a problem with Luka because obviously you want him to score your points. But the thing with Luka is he's a ball stopper. That's what he does. He's elite at it. So when he's not stopping the ball a lot, you guys get good looks. They get good looks a lot,
Yeah.
and they have shooters.
Mm.
They do.
All right, who's your guys' pick to win it all?
Season 7, baby.
For Celtics or Warriors, I mean.
Roll season 7.
Warriors in 7.
I want to see a 7-game series in the finals. That'd be awesome. I'm gonna go with the Warriors. Honestly, I see them. I see them when I see experience kicking in.
They had a 2-year break, man. They didn't even get to like go out of the playoffs. They just spent a year away and then came back right in the playoffs.
I'm not even like as a
Stupid
fan. I
franchise.
am not prepared right now to have to watch a Warriors elimination game. Like I don't know, man.
You get nervous, don't
them
you?
to just, I want them to just beat the Celtics in 5.
That's toxic. There's no way. There's no
Not
way we
happening.
lose.
I know.
There's no way we
I'm
lose.
gonna say Warriors in 7 just because I want that to
Celtics are a
happen. I
scary
want that
team.
to happen.
Celtics. Hey, I'll give the
That'd be
Celtics
an
props. They seem
That would be an insane series, by the way. That series would be
It would.
nuts.
No, but I think it will be Warriors in 7 actually, because I don't see the Warriors winning in the Garden.
See, but is it so? Me and Shane were talking about this. It is Warriors home court, right?
Yeah.
It, is.
That's big. That helps them a lot.
It does.
You don't want to be in TD for Game 7.
Yeah,
You
and
definitely
it's
don't-
actually
you definitely
it's
don't want to be
crazy.
in Oracle for Game 7.
It's crazy because the Bucks.
not
Oh, it's the
Remember,
Newell Stadium.
they actually sat players at the end of the regular season to not play the Nets. Well, I mean, actually, we don't know that.
The Nets wanted us too. The
We
Nets
don't
were
know that, but like then the Bucks ended up getting the 3 seed. Celtics got or did they get the 3 seed? Yeah, they were the 3
They-
seed.
They had the 3 seed. We had the 2 seed.
Yeah, and then they ended up playing each other, and it was decided by home court advantage.
And it's crazy too because the Nets were like really happy about drawing us and not the Bucks, and then they got
Yeah.
swept.
hmm
Crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, I would be happy if I wasn't playing Giannis too. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, me too. I'd be so
Yeah.
happy. He shredded us. I've never seen it. He gets a lot of calls, but man, that guy can ball. It's wild.
He
He's
gets
not-
calls he deserves, I think.
Yeah, no, he gets foul calls, but he also like it's hard for the refs to call when like Giannis is like driving and he hits a guy in the paint. Like, what do you call there? Like, I don't.
He does
know.
get a lot of offensive fouls. It's not like
He
When
does.
Giannis
has
is
the
on
most
the when Giannis
he's
is
the
on the
most
court,
league.
there's so many charges per game. Like
So he has 22 offensive fouls, I think, right now. It's like
Yeah.
most in the playoffs. But
yeah,
that
I
being
mean that's
said,
expected. Honestly, I mean he's like he's crazy when he goes to the rim.
He's not human. He's not human. I'm 100% convinced he's an alien. There's no way.
Yeah. Well, I think that just about wraps it up for this episode of the Mayo Show, recapping round 2 of the NBA playoffs and giving our picks and predictions for the conference finals, which are coming up starting tomorrow. Should be really exciting. We're really looking forward to it. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.